This is Gemara in Gittin, Daf Hey, and today's share has been generously sponsored as an incredible zchus, Refuah Shalema for Yisrael Moshe ben Liba b'siyata d'shmaya. The koyach of Torah, Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam, should bring Yisrael Moshe ben Liba a complete Refuah Shalema. And we're holding in the bottom of Dalet Amud Beis, Baruch Hashem, back to getting the shiurim up before Shabbos and in time. Says the Gemara, 4 lines from the bottom, Tanan. And we continue the Rabba Rava conversation, the reason for Faneinechtam. We remind ourselves that Rabba says Lishma, Rabba says Kiyam. The Gemara yesterday concluded Rabba is Leider Rava, a fascinating and startling revelation, even though Rabba holds of Lishma and Rava holds of Kiyam. The Gemara says Rabba is Maskim to Rava. And therefore we only have 2 nafkaminas, that's Yubei Trey, or Bais Medina Medinas Hayam. Says the Gemara Tinan. Again, we are 4 lines on the bottom of Dalet Amud Beis. Another kasha on Rabba, kasha on Lishma. Tinan. We learned in the Mishnah. Excuse me, not in our Mishnah, the next Mishnah on Daf Tes. Someone brings a guy from Dinas Yam and he's not able to say Vanenechtam. What is the din? Says the Mishnah. Yishalav Eidim, if there are Eidim. Yiskayim b'chaysam, if you can mekayim the get with the signatures of the Eidim. End of quote of the Mishnah. So you bring a get, you're not able, you're not able to say Vanenechtam. Said the Mishnah, what should you do? Be mekayim the get. V'havinan ba, and we ponder and we wonder on the Mishnah. What does the Mishnah mean? That you're not able to say as we go and we scroll down. Turn over to Daf Hey Amid Aleph. What does it mean? Says the Gemara, if you're going to suggest that it means chayresh, it is a chayresh, which is not able to talk, and that's the reason why he couldn't say Vanenechtam. Says the Gemara, chayresh b'arasuy gitu. Could a chayresh even bring a get in the first place? But we learned in the Mishnah that he cannot. Hakol kisherim. Lavius, I get, says the Gemara, says the Mishnah Daf Chav Gimel, anyone can bring the get chutz. As Rashi points out, what's the reason? They don't have any das. Therefore, they're not able to be made a shliach to divorce. So says the Gemara, it can't be a case of a chayrish in the Mishnah that we just quoted. What's the case? The person gave the get to the woman while he was a pikeach, while he had das, and then he was not able to say Vanenechtam. Boom, unfortunately, Rachmana litzlan, shenis chareish, became a chayrish. That's the case of the Mishnah Daf Tes, and that's where the Mishnah said, what do? Be mekayim the get. Says the Gemara, l'Rava nicha. According to Rava Gavaldik, you weren't able to say Vanenechtam. So what do? You go and you're mekayim the get. But l'Rabba kasha. According to Rabba, that the whole reason is lishma. So what does it help? You still need to know lishma. Answers the Gemara, hachamayaskinan. Another startling revelation in the din of lishma. La'achar shelamdu, after everyone learned that it needs to be lishma. Says the Gemara, Yachi, if that is true, Yachal Nami. So why does this Mishnah Daf Tes say, Eina Yachal, excuse me, if you're not able to say Vanenechtam, then you can be Mekayim it, even if you're able to. If everyone knows of Lishma according to Rabbah, then you should never have to say Vanenechtam. Answers the Gemara, Be'etzem, you're right. And ostensibly, you should not have to say Vanenechtam according to Rabbah, because everyone knows of the Din Lishma. The reason you have to is Gzeir D'Rabbanan, we're afraid maybe the clock will be rolled back, maybe people will no longer know the halacha. Says the Gemara, if that's true, Yachal Nami. So then, even in a case where one doesn't know, if it's all Gzeir D'Rabbanan, you should always have to say Vanenechtam. Says the Gemara, the case that we're discussing, Pikeach, he had das, and he lost his das, he lost his speech. Milsa de shchicha is an uncommon case. Milsa shchicha legazu ba rabbanan. So we're answering that according to Rabbah, the whole reason is lishma. So why does the Mishnah say kiyam suffices? Because there was a time in history where everyone learned about the din of lishma, and therefore you don't need to say Vanenechtam for lishma purposes per se. Rather, why do they say it? They say it's gzeira d'Rabbanan. Maybe they'll forget, and this gzeira is only made in normal, regular shchiach, common cases. But a case of someone who had das and lost his das is not common, so there's no gezerah. So it's coming out that we have to reorient ourselves with the Mishnah Daf Beis, that according to Rabba, the reason you're saying Vanei is not for any real reason. It's not for really a reason of Lishma. It's not like Rashi taught us that we ask him and wasn't Lishma. Rather, it's a gezerah. Maybe one day we won't know about this din of Lishma. Further, ask the Gemara 10 lines down. First one line is Rabbanan. For an Isha to bring a get is also not common. Utanania, we learned in the Mishnah. Isha atzma via Gittin. A woman is allowed to bring a get as long as she said Vanei. Answers the Gemara. Like plug that once we have a din that the shliach says it, the shliach always has to say it. Says the Gemara, and therefore even though a shliach is lo shchicha, and even though a shliach is lo shchicha, therefore there should not be a gezerah d'Rabbanan, just like the case of Pikech v'nischarish, our case. Says the Gemara, no, lo tachlik b'shlichos, and in all cases of shlichos, all regular cases shlichos, I should say, you would have to say Vanei. He asked the Gemara, Baal Nami, a husband as well that brings a get, you have to say Vanei Alama Tanya. What is the reason that we learned in a Braisa? If he himself brings the get to the woman, he doesn't have to say it. Why not? If it's Xer D'Rabbanan and it's Loi Tachlik, all shlichos have to say it, even the husband as well. Explains the Gemara, what is the reason? What was the whole creation of this get? Creation of Vanei was why? Because the husband might come, call into question the validity of the get, and basel it. But if the husband himself is bringing it, we should be worried that he's going to be ma'ara. We should be worried that he's going to call into question the validity of the get. And therefore says the Gemara, since there is no concern, therefore when the husband brings the get, he does not have to say, B'fanei nechtav, u'b'fanei nechtam. Tashema, says the Gemara, another kasha and Rabbah. And if we were listening and we learned well the previous 15 lines of the Gemara, the next 15 should be a breeze, as everyone will see in a moment. Two people bring a get. Two people show up. Do they have to have an nechtav or not? Amar lei, so Ravuna answers to Shmuel, ein tzrichan, they don't have to. Uma ilu yamor, and he explains, if they were to say b'fanenu gersha, that the gerushin, the divorce happened in front of us, milo mehemni, would they not be believed? Of course they would be believed. So just like they would be believed to say the divorce happened in front of us, they don't have to say b'fanei nechtam, b'fanei nechtam. Asks the Gemara, le Rava nicha. According to Rava, this is gavaldik. It's all about kiyum. We see that just like two people would be able to say we saw the gerushin, so too they don't have to say vanei nechtam. So everything's good. But le Rava, it's all din of lishma kasha. Answers the Gemara, asks the Gemara, chanami. Even by one, why only by two? Explains the Gemara. We have a gzeira that it might go back. If two people show up, say vanei nechtav. The Gemara continues to ask, hopefully sound familiar. Says the Gemara, explains the Gemara 5 lines from the wide line. Simon, the husband's bringing it. Therefore, there is no concern. Two kashas on Rabba, and both are deflected. The Gemara continues. Tashema, maybe someone brings a get from overseas. V'nasnu la, and he gives the get. V'lo yamar la, but he does not say vanei nechtam. So someone brings the get. He didn't learn Daf Beis, or he did, and he forgot. And he forgot to say vanei nechtam. Whether he forgot, or whether he didn't, but lamaisa he didn't. The last narrow line. Im, says the Gemara on the first wide line. Im this guy in b'chay samav, if we're able to be mekayim with the signature on the get, kosher. Vim lav pasul. Why, explains this brayso, have a lo yotzruchu loymar b'fanei nechtav lahachmer aleha. This creation of b'fanei nechtav was not to be stringent, but rather elo lahaklalel, but rather to be lenient. End of brayso. Says the Gemara, l'Rava nicha, according to Rava's gevaldik, it's all about kiyum. That's Rava's din. But l'Rava kasha, according to Rava, that's din of an element of lishma. How are we answering up lishma? Answers the Gemara, it's after they all know about Lishma. Says Gemara, 1 second, we said this is a Gezerah that they might forget. Kishen says the Gemara, it's true that there was a Gezerah that requires Seifanei Nechta because they might forget Lishma. But the case is that she already got married, and therefore, due to the Gezerah, we're not going to make her get divorced. So meaning, it's more of like a B'diavad situation. Ihachi asked the Gemara, why did the Brisa say? What is the reason the Brisa explained? That the reason of Seifanei Nechta was because it's only a kula, not a chumrah. Misham din nisesu. The Brisa should have explained. You know why it's all good? It's good because it's b'diavad. It's good. It's because she got married. Says the Gemara, Hachi Kamar. You have to read into the Brisa that the Brisa is referring to Lach Shalamdu. The Brisa is referring to that she was nisei, she was married. Now maybe you'll suggest even still she should be machmer and make her get divorced. On that the Brisa is responding. And thereby the Gemara defends on Rabbah. As we turn over to Haman Bey, says the Gemara, Taimamai, what is the reason for the whole but in this case, Lamaisa, the Baal is not being ma'arer. Lamaisa, the woman got married, and therefore there's nothing for us to worry about, and therefore b'diavad, we say everything is fine, and we don't require them to do anything else. Says the Gemara, Hashta Baal Kamara, I stopped in the middle of a line. Ana Neikav and Arala, we're going to go and create an error? Why would we do that? And that's what the Brisa meant, that's only Lahakal Aleha, period. Says the Gemara. There is a machlekes Rav Yechon Rav Yeshua ben Levi. The opinions of Rabbah and Rava. Look at Rashi 2 lines down. Says Rashi, Ki hach plukta de Rabbah Rava. Rav Yeshua ben Levi and Rav Yechon argued about the same thing as Rabbah and Rava. Now Rashi really speaks out. So what? These are Amorai Kamai. So usually we ask a kasha, why do Amoraim argue about something that Tanaim in the Mishnah we argued, like we had in the previous daf? Here, that's not the crux of the Gemara. The Gemara is showing that the same machlokes was had by earlier Amoraim. So says the Gemara, but who holds what? What does Rav Yechon hold? What does Rav Shimon Levi hold? So Testayim, let's bring a raya 6 lines down to him. It beis Rav Shimon Levi to Amar. Levi shein bekin l'shma. The Rav Shimon, how's the raya? The Rav Shimon Abba said Gita l'kamei. The Rav Shimon Levi, Rav Shimon Abba brought again in front of Rav Shimon Levi. Amalei shichlem him for nechvanei nechtamaloi. Do we have to say it or not? And what did Rav Shimon Levi? What did Rav Shimon Levi respond? Amalei loy tzarechne. Why not? Because there's Rishayim Shein Bekiem Lishma, so we see clearly Rav Shimon Levi learns like Rabba. Aval, however, there's a Chayrin to Bekiem Lishma. Loi, therefore we don't have to worry about the funny Nechtav Tis Tayim. Says the Gemara that is a beautiful raya that Rav Shimon Levi is of the opinion of Lishma. So now, if Rav Shimon Levi holds of Lishma, what does Rav Yochanan hold of? Seemingly, Rav Yochanan would be of the opinion that it's because of Eidim Mitzuyim Lekaimai, like Rava. With that in our mind, says the Gemara, V'tizbra is what you just said true. V'harabba Islay de Rava. Number 1, Rabba Lishma holds of Rava of Kiyam. So seemingly Rav Shimon Levi leaves now Lishma should hold of Rav Yochanan of Kiyam. V'oid number 2, Amrin and Shemiyach Sudav Lekukule. What happened to Gzeira to Rabbanan? That it might revert back. And therefore, even if you hold of Lishma, you still should require for the Nech. Rav Shimon Abba says the Gemara in the story that happened. Rav Shimon Abba brought together Rav Shimon Levi. In that story, in the Shachrina Have he had another person with him. So why in the story didn't we tell over there was another person there? Rav Shimon, the cover of Rav Shimon, that they only said the story was he was the one that brought it to Rav Shimon Levi, but Lamaisa, there was a second person there. Because there was a second person there that takes care of the issue of Kiyam, Rabba Islay de Rava, Rav Shimon Levi Islay de Rav Yochanan. Itmar, and again, keep on remembering that Rav Yochanan is the opinion of Kiyam, Rav Shimon Levi is the opinion of Lishma. Bifnei Kama, nice and law. Says a brisa we had 2 days ago in front of how many people is the get to have to be given in front of? Rav Yochanan and Rav Chanina. Chad Amar Bifnei Beis, V'chad Amar Bifnei Gimel. Machloek is 2 or 3. Rav Yochanan, the same Rav Yochanan we just had a moment ago. That Rav Yochanan said that the whole siba, the whole impetus is why Kiyum. He argues with Rav Chanina whether you need 2 or 3. So says the Gemara, Tistayim to Rav Yochanan who the Amar Bifnei Beis. Let's bring a raya. Rav Yochanan holds you only need 2. What's the raya? The Rav and Bar Chista has the Gittin that came into Rav Yochanan. He brought it again in front of Rav Yochanan. Rav Yochanan had said, give it in front of 2. That's a raya that Rav Yochanan holds that you only need to give the get in front of 2 people. So what's the problem with that? Says the Gemara, Lema balka mifligi, demand amar bifnei shnayim, kasavar lefi she'ein b'kiyum lishma. Why would you only have to give in front of 2 people? Because it's a din of lishma. For a din of lishma, it would suffice having 2 people. Why would it suffice having 2 people? So we have to look up for a moment into Rashi. And Rashi says the reason why it would suffice having 2 people is because they're Eidim. And they're Eidim to testify that it was lishma. And Umanda Amar Bifnei Gimel continues, the Gemara is going to hold what? Is going to hold Ksar Lefi She'edim Mitzuyim Lekaimai. And therefore to be Mekayim the get, like being Mekayim Ol Shtaris, you need 3 people. So now, once we figure all this out, now we can just speak out the Kasha. We just said Rav Yochanan holds 2. But a moment ago we said Rav Yeshua ben Levi holds of Lishma. If Rav Yeshua ben Levi holds of Lishma, Rav Yochanan holds of Kiyum. If Rav Yochanan holds of Kiyum, how many should he need? 3. But we just said Rav Yochanan holds 2. Tizra is that true? And Levi Amar Lefi She'ein B'kiyum Lishma. Therefore, Rav Yochanan Amar Lefi She'ein Mitzuyim Lekaimai. V'acheichi Kam Rav Yochanan B'fnei Gimel. And therefore, how could Rav Yochanan say 2? V'ayim. Furthermore, Harabba is Lei Derava. So we're running into an issue over here. Smach like is Rav Yochanan and Rav Yeshua ben Levi. Says the Gemara, Ella the Kuliyam B'in Endim Mitzuyim Lekaimai. You're right. Rabbi is Lei Derava. It's a completely different machlekes. What's the machlekes of Yochanan and Yeshua ben Levi? Whether you need 2 or 3 edim there when you give the get. B'shliach naseid ve'ed nasedayim kom mifligi. Man damer, the man damer that holds b'fnei shnayim kasav Rav Yochanan shliach naseid ve'ed nasedayim. And therefore having 2 edim are enough. Why? Because they combine with the shliach himself, and now you have 3 edim for kiyum. But if we need 3 people there. Ask the Gemara, very nice. But we hold with the Rabbanan ein asadayin. In Dinei Rabbanan, everyone agrees ein asadayin. This is in the Rabbanan b'fanei nechtav. So why should everyone agree the ein asadayin? Ela hachabaka mefligi demar savar kim di shekshira lavi yisaget. Since a woman herself could bring the get, we have to be worried that maybe she is going to bring the get, and what? And we might come be seimich on her, and she of course cannot be a dain. Ve'edach, and the other man damer hold, isha meidei yadav lo semchala. Everyone knows woman can't be a dayan, therefore will never come to combine her for the bezdin. Says the Gemara, so that's going to be the machlokes, whether inas a dayan or not. Says the Gemara, Tani Kavasei Rav Yochanan. We have a right to Rav Yochanan that you need to. Maybe Yom Din is Yamanas law. What's the halach if you bring a get and you forget to say it? Says the Tanakama, says Rameir. Yosef Avlad Mamzer Devi Rameir. Rameir says if they didn't say Vanei Nechtam, it invalidates the get. And if they got remarried, the children are Mamzerim. No. Ain't Avlad Mamzer. Rather, case it yasa, what she do? Yitlana managed to take it back from her. But yes, if Yitlana if they be redo the giving of the get. Period. So first of all, that's the raya to Rav Yochanan. It says explicitly 2 people. Now we tie up loose ends, and the Gemara wonders. 8 lines from the white lines on Ham and Beis. Rameir says because according to Rameir, you didn't say v'nechtam you ate mamzer. That's you create a mamzer. It's a din d'Rabbanan to say v'nechtam. Answers Gemara in yes, because Rameir l'taimei da'amar Rav Hamnuna mishmei de'ula oimar ha'yu Rameir holds kol ha'meshana mi matbeah shetavu chachamim begittin. If you mess up from the matbeah, from the coin, for the precise way that Chazal taught you to do a get yoytzev avlad mamzer, you have to get divorced, and the vlad is a mamzer. That is the shita of Rameir. That is the raya to Rav Yochanan. And we wrap up today's shir with a bunch of other details about giving the get. Barhed you wanted to bring a get. Rav Achi Gita came from Rav Achi, who was the one in charge of Gittin. Amar lei sarachat lamoid al kol ois va'ois. He told him you should watch each and every ois that is written by the get. But then Rav Ami Rav Asi, that was Rav Achi. Rav Ami Rav Asi Amar lei lo yisrichta. You don't have to see every word and letter written. Maybe you'll say, but I want to be more machmir, so I'm going to make sure I'm going to see every letter written. Nimsa, you're going to cause that. People are going to think you have to do that. A very important yesod in halacha, how to apply it is not so simple. But when something is mutter, it's not always so easy to be machmir, because then people are going to think other times it was apostle. 3 lines from the bottom. He brought a get that part was written in front of him and part was not. Also, the kamei, Rav Elazar in front of Rav Elazar. Amar Lei, Rav Elazar responded, "It is kosher. Afilu loy kosaboy, even if it was only written in it. Shita achas lishma, 1 line lishma." And the Likutei Rashi on the side of the page points out, what is that 1 line? That 1 line is the first line in the get. Then shovei noitzarch is going to be enough. So if half of it was written lishma, it's certainly enough. And the Gemara continues. Rav Ashi Amar, says Rav Ashi, how much you have to know is lishma of a get. Says Rav Ashi a chiddush as we turn over to Vav Amud Aleph. Afilu kan kol musa, even if you heard the sound of the quill, the kan megilta, and you heard the sound of the parchment, that will suffice. You heard them fixing up the parchment, you heard them preparing the quills. Says Rav Ashi, that's enough of a lishma that you know that when this get was written, it was written l'shem to be a get. Tanya Kavasi de Rav Ashi, we bring a raya to this side of Rav Ashi. Says the Gemara, what's the raya? You're downstairs and described as upstairs. You're upstairs, downstairs. Even if you're going in and out all day, kosher. If you're inside of Sefer Ba'aliyah, says the Gemara, what do you mean? How can it be a kosher get? You're on different floors. You don't see the get being written. Elolav, we see from here that you heard the Sefer writing it, so you know that he was writing this get, and therefore that is going to be enough. Says the Gemara, and with this we conclude. Amar 6 lines down, Vav Amud Aleph. What do the prices say? Even if you go in and out all day, kosher, it's kosher. Man, who is the person going in and out? If you tell me he's the shliach going in and out. The first case in the price was you're downstairs and the silver's upstairs. It's kosher even though you don't see it. Amri, it's kosher. So it's pashut. If you're going in and out, it'll be the same thing. Some things you see and some things you don't. Ella Sefer. Must be the Sefer is going in and out. Pshita. Because the Sefer walks in and out as he's writing a get, that's going to passel it. Why would that passel it? Answers the Gemara, you know why? The Havamina is lo tzricha de nafik l'shuka. The Sefer goes to the shuk va'asa. Maybe the Sefer met someone else, and maybe the Sefer met someone else, and he was having him in mind when he wrote the get. So even though you know that the Sefer started writing it for you, but maybe the fact that he goes in and out, that should be a paslus, that it wasn't written l'shma, kamash malan, that we don't have to be chayshiv for that, and it's going to be l'shma. We see how far it goes. How cool makel we could be knowing that the person is writing a get. Pick it up in the 2 dots in the next year. B'siyata dishmaya.